And Hillman, when you get started, will you please let Shelley and Tarna know when the recording has started recording as well?
Yep, Joe, we just recorded your voice.
Good.
Okay. All right. Well, it's my pleasure now to get us started with the webinar. And to do that, we have the Department of Employee Trust Funds, Shelley Schuler.
Thank you, Helaman. As you said, my name is Shelley Schuler, and I work for the Department of Employee Trust Funds as the Deferred Compensation Director. I'm here with Tarna Hunter, ETF's Director of Strategic Engagement and Government Relations, and we're delighted to welcome you to this ETF webinar on the Financial Fitness Program. We're really glad you can join us today. ETF has partnered with the Financial Fitness Group to provide public employees in Wisconsin with free access to an innovative online financial fitness program that combines independent, unbiased, interactive financial education with individual employee access to a financial fitness coach. As Helaman mentioned, we will be recording this webinar for future on-demand viewing, so watch for it in the employer section of the ETF website.
Thanks, Shelley. Good morning, this is Tarna. It is our pleasure to introduce Joe Sari from the Financial Fitness Group. Joe founded Financial Fitness Group to fulfill his vision of providing accurate, reliable, and unbiased financial education and make learning about personal, finance, investing easy, effective, and fun. His adventures in this space began as a publisher of interactive educational experiences. Joe is a graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where he earned an MBA in Finance and International Business. Joe?
Hi, Shelley and Tarna, and hi, and welcome everyone, and thank you very much for joining in today. It is exciting to present this program. We've got a good group of well over 50 people on the webinar, and a few more who are joining us as we go. So thank you. In terms of the attendees today, we have people who are served by the Department of Employee Trust Funds and the Wisconsin Retirement System. Some of you may work in employee benefits. Some of you may have an interest in the topic of financial fitness. So we're going to try to organize the content in a way that will be effective, fun, and engaging for you. As Hillman mentioned earlier, you can, and I certainly encourage you to please chat in your questions as we're presenting during the webinar, and then we will be pausing at the end for a Q&A section. So really three main things we're excited to cover today. And Hillman, would you please just confirm you can hear my voice just fine and see my screen?
Absolutely, Joe. You sound great, and the screen looks great.
Okay. If at any point my voice quality goes out, please let me know. I have a second phone I can call in from as need be. But we have three main things we're going to be covering today. First of all, just a quick recap for the need for financial wellness in the workplace. Why is this relevant to the Department of Employee Trust Funds? Why is it relevant to you? And then we'll give some highlights about the Employee Trust Funds Financial Fitness Program. This is a tremendous value for any company served by the Wisconsin Retirement Services. You can use this program free of charge for yourself and your employees. And really just this webinar is to help get the word, but also the third point, explain how you can get involved. We are actually looking for financial fitness champions. We think we've got many of them on the line, but by that we mean people who can help promote the word and make certain the well over 250,000 people served by the Wisconsin Retirement System really know this program exists and take full benefit of it. So you're a huge and important part of that for being here today. So I'm going to take a minute then to talk about the need for financial wellness, and then we're going to get into the guts of the program. I would love from the questions box if any of you have actually done a financial fitness checkup or enrolled in the Financial Fitness Academy already or connected with a coach. I'd love that you put a comment or two in the question box, and we'll address that at the end, but it would be just great to know your level of knowledge of the program. And if you have not done that, we'd love to know that as well. In terms of the need for financial fitness, the reality is the statistics are pretty clear. Your average American simply is not financially fit. When you think about kind of the ABCs of financial fitness, aptitude, behavior, and confidence, most of the stats are a bit disappointing. Your typical American scores only 59% on understanding financial terms and terminology. So people are much more likely to tell you, about the nutritional elements in the 401k, or sorry, the special K they ate for breakfast, than perhaps the mutual funds they have in their 401k. Likewise, on the behavior side, we know there's a whole bunch of stats. On the screen, you see 77% of people living paycheck to paycheck. People really aren't saving enough for retirement. I really want to applaud the work of the Department of Employee Trust Funds. They've been recognized for some of their efforts, but to try to help employees know that, in addition to the pension programs, it's wise and smart to save more for retirement as well. And so the final thing on the confidence side, we know, and we've had some articles published in the Wall Street Journal on this, at over 200,000 people kind of take a financial fitness checkup. And what we see is 8 out of 10 people have significant to moderate levels of stress about money. So that's a little bit on the need for financial fitness. But, why does it matter to you? You're an employee at a company served by the Wisconsin Retirement Services. Many and most of you communicate with others about benefits and related topics. What we've seen is financial stress cost U.S. employers over $100 billion each and every year in lost profits and productivity. What we know is there's some 200 articles and research paper that show when people are stressed out about money, it affects their engagement. So on this screen here, you'll see the typical cost that 80% of the population who has moderate to severe stress can cost up to $2,000 per year in terms of lost profits and productivity. Now, most of you are public employers, so you're not out to make profit, but you are out to, better serve both your employees and the stakeholders. And when people are stressed out about money, what we know is it drives up your costs, much higher levels of turnover for the population that is stressed out about money, absenteeism. On the payroll expenses side, you'll find that people who are stressed out about money are much less likely to use things like your flexible spending accounts, your health reimbursement accounts, even participate in a 403B or 457 plan. And on the healthcare side, we know that stress and financial stress is directly correlated to higher healthcare claims as well. On the other kind of a productivity side, people who are stressed out about money are less productive, they're less engaged, and they're less satisfied. And of course, the converse is true. When people feel better about money, they're happier, they're more satisfied with their job, they're more engaged, they're more fun to be around when they feel confident and that they have their financial lives under control. Some of the kind of cost of financial stress in the workplace, we know that large percentage of the workforce, in this stat, 46% of people spend up to 150 hours each and every year dealing with financial challenges on the job, whether it's debt consolidation or credit counseling, trying to kind of put out fires instead of proactively being fully engaged. Middle slide there, we know that people who are significantly stressed out about money can have up to 3 times higher causes of preventable health care claims, things like migraines, insomnia, and high blood pressure, et cetera. And then absenteeism. We know when people are stressed out about money, they're far more likely to be suffering from things like, not showing up for work or coming into work and not being fully present. Currently, about 8 out of 10 employers in the U.S. say they're actively seeking solutions to deal with the financial wellness. So we're excited that so many of you, over 70 people, registered for the webinar from the employer groups to learn a little bit more about this topic as well. So we've covered the need for financial fitness or financial wellness. And now I wanted to get into the guts of kind of how the Employee Trust Fund's financial fitness program works. And then we'll wrap up with how you can get involved. Hillman, can you confirm you can still hear me just fine?
Yes, sir, I can.
Great. And we have several people who had said that they've both themselves and had several of their employees go through the program already. So please keep on chiming in if you have. We'd love to hear from you a little bit on that as well. So I'm going to go through talking about the financial fitness program and what's being rolled out in 2017, and then how you can get involved. To begin with, kind of the concept is fairly simple, and it started right here in Wisconsin. We were fortunate to work with the University of Wisconsin-Madison, Professor John Hoffmeyer and Michael Collins and others, to really research this issue of how you could drive better change in terms of engaging people to learn about money in the workplace. We applied for and received over $2.5 million in grant funding to work with both the University of Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin, but also 20 other universities and governments nationwide to look at this issue of improving the financial wellness of your workforce. And there was really a pretty simple concept. The green arrow you see here on the right, the idea was we looked at best practices in technology, kind of online learning, also best practices in psychology, and finally gamification to look how you can make learning about money efficient, effective, and fun. And what the goal of the program really has been is to find ways to help you, the employer, deliver meaningful and quality unbiased education at a fraction of the cost of traditional methods and generate significant better results. So far, over about a 5-year period, we've been fortunate to engage roughly 1,000 employers, who employ over 2 million people. And in particular, we're very excited that you are here working with the Department of Employee Trust Fund to look at how you might be able to roll out a program to your people as well. So the concept is simple: best practices in technology, psychology, and gamification to make learning about money efficient, effective, and fun. In terms of employers, not only has the state of Wisconsin been collaborating with us off and on now for several years, we've worked with the state of Iowa, Stanford University, Cornell, and others. A real myriad of employers, public, private, and other groups engaged in the program. What we do see about this sort of deployment, kind of an online interactive program, now connecting people with the option for a coach, is we can drive significantly better engagement than other methods. And traditional methods might be trying to coordinate a lunch and learn workshop, where you have somebody from a local credit union or a bank come in, or your retirement plan provider, and talk about a topic. This gets far higher engagement. You can do it from your smartphone. You can do it from your tablet. It's far easier to get started. And when people do, we find they get more involved as well. Not surprisingly, according to research done by the University of Wisconsin, we've seen significant improvements in terms of people's aptitude, their behavior, and confidence, kind of that ABCs of financial fitness. People go through the program, tend to take control of their finances. They start to build a budget, maybe create a financial plan, save a bit more for retirement, pay down debt, have fewer late fees. And in the end, they tend to be happy and less stressed about money. In terms of our guiding principles in this program for the Department of Employee Trust Fund's financial fitness program, we wanted to make a program that was incredibly simple for you to roll out and administer. We know how busy you are. We also wanted a program that would be flexible. The Wisconsin retirement system serves over 1,500 employers, nearly 250,000 active employees, and they're very diverse. From people working on the highway and law enforcement officers to teachers or sanitation workers to city employees and the like. So the program has been designed to be both simple to administer, that you in an hour or two can promote this program to your employees and make a difference, flexible so that it'll work for different types of organizations, and ultimately measurable, that you have the possibility to get some reports to understand what are the challenges with your employee base, and what sort of positive outcomes are you getting if you participate in this program. So again, the concepts are simple, taking best practices from technology, psychology, and gamification to drive better results. Ultimately now I want to walk through the screenshots of kind of what the employee experience is, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A in terms of how to get more involved. So one of the cool things about the program is we have turnkey tools that we've been developing with the Department of Employee Trust Funds. So, email newsletters, posters, flyers, things that you can use to promote engagement. We know that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And the first step in the financial fitness program typically is doing a 10-minute checkup. So people go through and they do a quick online assessment. Then it provides access to independent, unbiased education. And if people want, they can have access to coaching. There are global reports that come out at the Department of Employee Trust Funds. And for those of you, your organizations who sign up with a financial fitness champion, we can even provide individual reports for your department or organization as well. In terms of the actual program and how it works, I'm going to walk through some screenshots. So this is an example of some turnkey email messaging that is provided. We have a series of invite messages that you can customize and send out to your employees. And they are, designed with great creative and copy that you can kind of help brand or co-brand and send out to your employees. We recommend typically promoting with at least 3 messages. Everything that we do is designed to be mobile friendly as well. So we're finding almost 25% of the people engaging in the platform now are using their smartphone. So we want to kind of bring financial fitness to where people are, whether they're sitting in the lobby, of their dentist and they've got a few extra minutes, whatever it is, but where they have time to take a few minutes to learn about improving their financial fitness. The actual online score, that checkup, is very simple, fun, and informative to use. Nearly 15,000 employees at the state of Wisconsin have completed it already. So with 250,000, we've got just a few to go. But the idea is you can do a quick 10-minute checkup. It's private and confidential. So there are questions about your financial aptitude, kind of what you know about money. In this instance, what does tax deferral mean? There are questions about your behavior. Are you budgeting? Are you saving for retirement? Do you have an emergency savings fund? And there are questions about your confidence. How do you feel about money? What's your level of stress? These questions have been developed over a 20-year period working with professors from the University of Virginia, the University of Wisconsin, Oxford, and elsewhere. But they are, scientifically proven to give some very good insights about kind of the financial fitness of participants, kind of the aptitude, the behavior, and the confidence, or the ABCs. At the end, an individual gets a score. They can see how they score and how that score compares to others. So in this instance, this user scored, 5.3, and they can find out, that's about in the middle of U.S. adults when it comes to their level of financial satisfaction or distress. And then they can be encouraged to continue to take full advantage of the financial fitness program and enroll in an online academy where they get access to nearly 100 tutorials, calculators, and courses to teach them about money, independent, unbiased content, as well as the access to have a coach. So when people enroll in the program, this is a screenshot kind of what the program is evolving towards. You get a personalized dashboard that kind of shows the topics or courses that you're enrolled in. As you can see here, it can track your progress. So in this particular case, I've done a pre-quiz, and then I'm 75% through the content, and I can click here, and it'll take me right where I left off. Down below, you'll notice here I haven't got it started. I signed up for, but haven't yet got started for saving for a house. If I wanted to add additional content, I can click the button here to choose other tutorials. I've got nearly 100 tutorials, calculators, and other tools to choose from. And then we are rolling out improved recommendation engines, kind of the idea like Amazon, that as we start to understand what your concerns and goals are, recommending what content might be right for you. You can see over here an example of a message to meet with a coach. Within the content itself, if employees have a question, if they're working on learning more about building a financial plan, perhaps they would prefer to interact and talk with a financial expert. One of the great things, thanks to the support of the University of Wisconsin-Madison and the ETF and others, employees within the Wisconsin retirement system have the opportunity to connect with a financial coach for up to 30 days free of charge. And the coach can help provide guidance. They've been trained to understand the benefit systems for the Wisconsin retirement system, so they can help provide some specific guidance, if they have a question about retirement, on who to contact or what to do. Coaches are certified financial planners or other financial professionals as well, but independent, objective guidance there as well. On the screen, I've got an example of kind of a course, so somebody who was interested maybe in learning more about investing could sign up for a course for stocks versus other investments. Want to clarify that the content itself and our company, Nor ETF, we do not sell financial products or services. We provide access to over 100 tutorials and other resources to teach you about taking control of your money. A good way to think about it is kind of like WebMD for your wallet. But you also have access to connect with a coach by phone for up to 30 days free of charge if you need to. You'll notice that for each course I can take a quiz, I get a score, and we do challenge people typically to complete 5 or more topics, typically within the first 5 weeks. But anyone who enrolls in the program will have access to that academy for all of 2017, and they have access to meet with a coach for up to 30 days, and that starts from the day they first reach out to them. So that gives you kind of an overview of the program. I talked about our guiding principles. So we have been fortunate to work directly with the Department of Employee Trust Funds and indirectly with dozens of local governments, city and state agencies within the state of Wisconsin. We try to make the program incredibly simple for you so that if you can find a couple hours to learn about the program, we give you all the tools, posters, resources to promote it and drive engagement. We do want to do more and more recognition, based on the employer groups that get the highest percentage of people to participate. The program is flexible and measurable. On the measurable side, we provide at the roll-up level for the state of Wisconsin, kind of an overall report. This is anonymous, aggregated data. We don't provide individual data. It's private and confidential, but anonymous aggregated data where you can look at kind of the overall financial fitness score of the state as a whole. And if your organization is interested in getting specific data, you can, when you sign up to be a champion, you can get, for the city of Milwaukee or the city of Milwaukee or the county of Dane or the county of Burke, you can get your own individual report and actually benchmark yourself against others. You'll see in some of the screenshots along here, you can break down to, what are people's financial aptitude, what is their behavior, and what is their score. We've been running these programs for nearly a decade, so we've got a large library to benchmark yourself against. So you can not only understand kind of how you're doing, but also how you compare against others. With that, I'd love to turn it over to Tarna and Shelley to give kind of an overview of what's included in the financial fitness program, and then we're going to explain how you can get involved in some actions you should take today.
Thank you, Joe. This is Tarna, and we're really excited to be here and partner with the Financial Fitness Group and Joe and his team. They're fantastic to work with, and we've been have had a very, I think, great relationship for the last couple of years. Just to give the participants a background of where Shelley and I and ETF have come from, in 2015, this partnership with the Financial Fitness Group began when we implemented the Empower campaign, which was a campaign to encourage women and all employees to save more for retirement. And then during that campaign, the Financial Fitness Group was piloting the Financial Fitness Checkup. And we partnered with the Financial Fitness Group to provide this financial fitness checkup, mainly to state agencies, but we also sent it out to the local governments. We weren't at that time able to provide the local governments with the reporting that Joe talked about, that really hands-on information that's going to enable all the employers to be able to really tailor wellness packages and information for their employees. So that's why we're really excited about this next step of this program. So the program is going to be operating in this year from May 2017 through the end of the year, December 2017. And Joe did a really nice job describing really what the program comprises, but it's going to include the financial fitness checkup. So all of your employees will have that quick online survey that assesses and benchmarks financial aptitude, behavior, and confidence on the 1 to 10 scale. And then if you do sign up to be a financial fitness champion with ETF and implement the financial fitness program for your organization, we'll provide you with the Financial Fitness Group the results for your organization's employees. That's going to give you some really good information. The Online Financial Fitness Academy, the learning recommendations and offer to enroll in an online tutorial for 12 months. Joe also went through what that looks like. What's really cool about this is, so when your employees take the financial fitness checkup, they're going to be offered a 1-year subscription into the Financial Fitness Academy, but they're also going to be offered short tutorials that are targeted to what areas that they need to learn in. And I think that's really important. Joe, one of the things that he told us is if somebody completes a 10-minute, a 10-minute class or a 10-minute tutorial, they're more likely to do another one. So the Financial Fitness Group has spent a lot of time learning about the behavioral aspects of, financial learning and enabling the employees to get the most out of it. And then what we're really excited about, and I'm using the word excited, but I think Shelley and I get passionate about financial education, is a financial fitness coach and providing that guidance. And it's something that we here at ETF are asked a lot, well, do you have financial advisors? We don't have financial advisors. We provide financial education, but this is a partnership with Ameriprise to provide that 30 days of free coaching. So.
Right. So then the question is, this is Shelley, how can you get involved with the program? I want to say one thing first of all, and that is it's free. There's no cost to this for employers or your employees, but what we ETF are seeking are active partnerships. We're looking for somebody at your agency who's willing to be a champion and help spread the word on the program. What does it take to be a financial champion is not that much. We did a pilot program with this several years ago at ETF, and I can speak from my own experience. It takes a couple hours to basically get up and running to figure out how I can communicate the program out to my counterparts in my agency, and then basically get around to answer questions from people.
So, and another thing that we would like to bring up is, and we did this with the Empower campaign, the Financial Fitness Group has pretty much created a toolkit. So all the employers will have that support that they need through the Financial Fitness Group and through Shelley and I here at ETF to help you figure out how to do the HTML emails to send out to your employees, posters to put up, things like that. So it'll be a very easy campaign to implement as long as you're committed to implement it over the period of time that we commit to.
Joe, what else do we need to cover with people?
Thank you. Yeah, so first of all, I just want to thank Shelley and Tarna and the team. We do have a lot of questions that have come in, and we're going to get to them shortly. I'm just going to reiterate kind of how you can get involved. First of all, we want to thank you for taking time to learn about the program. We'll go over the questions that have been. But again, part of what the goal of the webinar is to look for people to sign up to potentially be a financial fitness champion. We think you've already differentiated yourselves by spending 30 minutes or so to learn about this topic. We'd like you to take a few extra minutes to keep that journey moving and potentially help spread the word to others. Collectively, there are some 1,500, maybe 3,000 people who work in employee benefits and HR in the state of Wisconsin who ultimately serve 250,000 people. And we're looking for a few good people here really to help sign up to get the word out to others. So what it takes to be a champion really is a commitment that you're willing to spend a couple hours to learn about how you can make the program, learn more about the program. As Shelley and Tarna mentioned, you can get access to kind of turnkey marketing materials, and we'd like you to make just a commitment to actively promote the program. Oftentimes, our champions are working within human resources, employee benefits. You might be the director of a particular agency, city, or otherwise. But you know, the title doesn't matter as much as your willingness and ability to spend a few hours to learn about how you can promote the program and get others involved as well. Some of the rewards of being involved, as Tarna and Shelley mentioned, you know, it is a great opportunity to learn and expand and grow. You will be recognized for your leadership skills. We're still working on some of the strategies on how best to recognize you for helping, you know, step up and get the word out, but we want to make it fun and effective in a way that you can kind of be recognized for your commitment to reach others. And then we will also provide for any organization that's interested in, we can configure the program in such that your employees, you can get a roll-up report. And so those are some of the great benefits of getting involved. I would like to show you how to do that, and then we're going to go to the Q&A. But in terms of how to actually take action, it's really simple as 1, 2, 3. I want to ask that you take the first step today. So the first step is filling out a short online form, and it'll take you less than 30 seconds. I'll show you how. Sandy Curry is going to put that through the chat message, so the same place that you've been going to put in your question comments, you'll be able to follow along, and I ask that you do it today. But the idea of filling out a short online form to learn more. When you go through that form, you can schedule a meeting with Chelsea, who is based there in Wisconsin and is somebody who can walk through all the tools and resources, you know, what it takes to get the word out. Whether that's you directly or whether you might want to sign up, meet with Chelsea so that you can identify who the right person in your group is. It'll take you 30 seconds to fill out the short onboarding form. You can schedule a call at the time that works best for you. It's very simple. Short, quick call. And then, ultimately to be that champion, we want to encourage you to get the word out to others. And whether you're going to just identify the leader or the leadership team in your group, that's great, or whether you're going to be that leader yourself. Either way, we do want to encourage you to kind of learn more. The way you do it, and you can go to your chat box and follow along, but you click on, or you can type out financialfitnessgroup.com/WI-employer. A little bit funky to read, but it's financialfitnessgroup.com/WI-employer. In the chat box, you should see here shortly a link. But this gives you a little bit of information. There is a fact sheet here that you can download. This is a 2-page fact sheet that has a whole bunch of details on the collaboration with the University of Wisconsin, researchers from Oxford, and otherwise kind of who is making the program available. This is a great thing to share with others if you need to get more organizational kind of buy-in. As Shelley and Tarna mentioned, there is no cost to the program, neither to your organization or to your employees. So this is made available to you free of charge. Shortly after, probably by tomorrow, maybe even later today, we will have a copy of the slides and a recording of this webinar available. But the most important thing you can do when you come here is to take a minute to learn more. So that Learn More button right there prominently at the top, when you click it, it'll take you to a short online form that you can fill out. And I want to encourage you to do that today. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it out just to show you how simple it is. Nothing like watching me type. I know how much fun that is. Yeoman and others, Shelley and Tarna, you can still hear me okay? And we're
Yes. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, Joe, we can hear
excellent.
you. And good news, we already have a few people who've signed up. We've been getting those notifications.
Well, that is wonderful, and thank you for using the link there. It's simple to do. So you can, first name, last name, your title, organization. Even if you're maybe not the person to promote it to others, feel free to fill out the form. Take a few minutes to meet with Chelsea, and then she can give you more information that's going to help you know who to call or who the right person is. Put the number of people in your organization. The form requires you to put in a state. We expect everyone here is going to be from Wisconsin. If you have comments on specific things you want to address or you want answers to, feel free to put them in. But when you complete the submit button, you'll know you're okay when you see the thank you for the interest in the Wisconsin Financial Fitness Program. So that's the first step. The second step, and we certainly encourage you to do that today as well, is to schedule a call with Chelsea to learn more. Usually those calls will take 20 or 30 minutes. She can spend more time if you need it, but she'll go through all the details of the program, how you can get the word out or identify champions. And what's great about this is when you click that link, as you can see on the screen, you can actually choose times that work for you. Be sure that the time zone is dropping down to Central Time, so that you're picking the time it should for you, but choose the time that works best for you. And you can schedule a meeting with Chelsea, click continue. You'll need to fill out your name again, a little annoying, but simple to do. But that's the bulk of it. I'm going to go back to the form, the URL, and we did get a question or two. It's in your chat box. It's financialfitnessgroup.com/WI-employer. That's WI-employer. And if you click on the link in your chat box, you can do that as well. So 3 simple ways to get involved. Fill out that short online form. It'll take you less than 30 seconds. If you got an extra minute or two, go ahead and schedule that call. Chelsea will start taking calls next week. And so pick a time that works for you. Be sure to add it to your calendar. And then, the third step, and, obviously important, would be if you like what you've heard, make a commitment to get the word out to others. With that, I'm going to go over to the question page. And Sandy, did you want to direct some of the questions to Tarna, Shelley, or the team?
Sure. So this first one I'll be able to answer. We have a question from Karen, and she's asking, can we get a copy of the handout PowerPoint with all information? And we will be sending you an email a little bit later today, and it will have a link to a recording of the webinar and also a link to a PDF of the PowerPoint, along with links to our information pages and the application.
Got it. Thank you. And other questions as well. So the PowerPoint and the PDF will be sent to you later. You can also go online to that email in the chat, and that will be available there eventually as well. Other questions, Sandy?
We also have, now, Tarna and Shelley did answer this, but I think folks may want to hear more information about it. This was from Lisa, and she asked, who does the financial coaching? Are they selling anything?
Yeah, and so I'll touch on that, and Shelley and Tarna can add. So when we originally worked on the project, we selected 5 employers nationwide from a pool of about 100. Were selected to participate in the the research project to learn more about the efficacy of coaching. And then working with the University of Wisconsin as well as others, we selected a group at the Ameriprise Advisor Center. So this is telephonic financial coaching that they provide up to 30 days free of charge. And during that 30 days, they are not selling any product or service. They'll answer questions and provide resources. If employees want to go on and actually do a financial plan, they can do so at a very deep discount. I think it's 40% or more off the regular price. I think initially it's been $25 a month if they want to build a financial plan, but there is absolutely no obligation for that. So they are not, during that coaching period, they're helping provide guidance and resources, and we're trying to compare, do people who interact with a coach or a human being have a better outcome than people who don't. Shelley or Tarna, anything you want to add about the coaching process?
No, that sounds good, Joe. Everybody that we have, we've had some of our employees go through it, and they've had positive experiences and have reported back that they thought that the coaching was very helpful. Thank you.
And we did get a couple questions from Jessica about how much does the program cost. So there is no fee for Wisconsin employers. You can roll out the checkup, the academy, and provide access to the coaching for your employees. That is free of charge to the employer groups that Wisconsin Retirement System serves. It's also free of charge to the employee. So Jessica, hopefully that answers that question. And then Jessica, I did see that you had a second comment that maybe there was some confusion in terms of if this was actually going to go through building a budget. So sorry if anyone thought that we were going to be doing actual financial coaching on the line today, but please do let us know if there was confusion so that we can improve the marketing collateral in terms of promoting these webinars.
And Joe, we had another question from Lisa. She was asking, if our employees have already participated, will we still get the reporting?
So it's a great question, Lisa. So the answer is it depends. If you can let us know the organization you're from, initially when we rolled out the checkup last fall, we had in the drop-down list about 40 organizations. And if you're at one of those 40 organizations, we could provide reporting for it. If your name was not listed, we won't have any easy way to know which employees came from your organizations. There may be some ways we can help, but going forward, if you sign up to be a champion, you can choose to include your organization in that drop-down, so your employees or their spouses can, identify that affiliation with you, and that will allow us to help report back organizationally for you.
Joe, I believe Lisa's at City of Milwaukee. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly.
Yeah, so if you are at the City of Milwaukee, I do not believe we had a drop down for you. If you do sign up as a champion, we could do a little bit of a check to see if people use their work email, and assuming they have a common email, associate those people with your group, but we need to take that offline. So any new people going through the program, from the point at which you sign up as a champion forward, we would be able to provide reporting for. People who are already in the program, would require a little bit of work unless you're at one of those 40 groups that was in the drop-down to start.
So I have another question, Joe, from Tom. He's asking, you said that all WRS employees and their families can participate in this program. Is the program appropriate for all ages?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the content is written at a 4th to 6th grade reading level, and we have rolled out content, for youth, but it really probably is designed appropriate for any young adult, 18 or older would be the expected group. We have had people go through it with, their teenage children, depending on their maturity and their reading level. They may find it great. It's written at a 4th to 6th grade reading level. Usually, I would say it's typically adults. There is content in there that's going to be more interesting to millennials. There's also content that's going to be in there that might be more interested to your baby boomers and everyone in between. So you can kind of choose and browse for the content that's right for you. So getting ready for retirement probably wouldn't be all that popular with a 17 or 18-year-old, but building a budget or kind of lifestyle planning for getting out of college, maybe, that sort of thing. I also see a question about the link. The link, again, I'm going to go back, is Wisconsin. It's in the chat message, but it's financialfitnessgroup.com. I'll pull it up here, /WI-employer. And we do encourage you, and it looks like a good deal of you have already signed up on that step 1 or step 2, but please do consider doing that now if you are interested. Sandy, other questions?
Let's see, this is a question from Andrea. How long will employees have access to the program?
Yeah, and then I see another question. I'm not sure if it's the same Andrea or another one. So anyone who gets started this year will have access to the checkup and the academy, typically for up to 12 months. The coaching service currently is available through the end of the year. And we expect it to be available in 2018 as well, but that will require additional discussion as we kind of continue to get some of the overall project evolved. So anyone who signs up will have access to the online checkup and the academy, typically for up to 12 months, and the coaching is available through the end of the year, possibly longer.
Great, thank you. And we have a question from Bonnie. Is it only open to WRS members? I have a few employees that are not eligible for WRS, but might want to use the financial coaching.
Yeah, Shelley and Tarna, on our end, we're fine. If they're affiliated, if the organization is affiliated with Wisconsin Retirement System, we're fine if they want to promote it to everyone. But Shelley and Tarna, okay. Yeah.
This is Tarna. Yes, we have been promoting it, and we know that a lot of our state agencies have contractors, and they've been eligible for this program. So employees and employees' families.
Okay. And then a different Andrea had asked a question about would participants get access to a health coach once they were beyond 30 days if needed? So just to be clear, it would be a financial coach, so not a health coach. They could engage in financial planning beyond 30 days if they care to. The price has been $25 per month if they would like to do that, but they're not obligated to do that. Usually that's for people who actually want to go beyond kind of coaching into actually advice or planning. So my wife and I have done that. I know a few people, Shelley and Tarna, your group have as well, but if you actually want to get a complete financial plan and an analysis, do you have enough insurance, et cetera, that would be beyond the 30 days.
Great, and thank you, Joe. Now, and Andrea said, that she did mean financial coach. So no worries, Andrea.
Did you see the question from Michelle Hoey?
Yeah. So yeah, Michelle. So what happens on January? Hopefully we get a sleep in, being that it's New Year's Day. That would be the first goal. But no, seriously, in terms of the program, we have worked with Shelley and Tarna and the Department of Employee Trust Funds now for about 2.5 consecutive years. We are hopeful and working towards the possibility of extending this, beyond 2017. At this point, we know anyone who is enrolled in the checkup or the academy, will have access for up to 12 months. And then, we will be in discussions about the possible continuation on a longer term. Shelley and Taryn, anything you want to add there, beyond January 1st?
Not at this point, Joe. Thank you.
Okay. And again, we've got a good number of you still on the phone, and we do appreciate that. If you have not done so, I'm going to take you back to the webpage one more time. On that webpage, there is a short fact sheet, which I think you'll find quite helpful. So it's Wisconsin-employer. It's here on the lower right where it says download the fact sheet. That fact sheet is a two-pager. It gives you access to the program, its background, kind of how it works. This is a great thing to share with others. As Shelley and Tarna and Sandy mentioned, we will have the copy of the slides will be sent to you. Typically, they try to follow up to make sure you actually receive them. Sometimes things get stuck in spam filters. But you can also come to this site, financialfitnessgroup.com/WI employer, and eventually we will be loading that download and fact sheet hopefully here by middle to end of the day. And again, for those of you who were trying to fill out the online form, it's the orange button right there. So thank you so much for those of you that did. And when you fill that out, you're not making a commitment to participate. You're simply expressing interest to learn more. It's the first of a three-step process. So we definitely encourage you to take a minute if you have it, fill that out, and even go forward and schedule that meeting to learn more. Shelley, Tarna, team, anything else we want to make sure we cover?
No, I think you've done a great job explaining it, wrapping it up, and we're really looking forward to working with all of the employers.
Right. I know it was a lot of information for people in a short amount of time, but we're pretty excited about the financial fitness opportunity for public employees. I just want to say thank you again to everyone who participated and to Joel for bringing this program to us so that we can share it with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then the one last question, I'm not sure if I fully answered. There seemed to be a question about non-public employers. Jessica, you may want to follow up offline. But if you're served by the Wisconsin retirement system, you are eligible. If you or a colleague works, at a large employer in Wisconsin, we are accepting applications for up to 8 other organizations, but they would need to apply through a slightly different process if they're not served through the Wisconsin Retirement Service. So with that, I want to thank everyone for joining in. Shelley and Tarna's contact information is up on screen. And any final words, or are we good to wrap up?
No, we're good to wrap up. Thanks, Joe.
Yep. Thank you. Everyone have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. We're ending the webinar now.